Welcome to TruthStream. Today we are here with Maria Scavelli, who is in the Lehi area of Utah. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. She's going to be talking today about the EE system and how she came about it, what it does. You can see it's right behind her. And then Scott and I have lived in Park City, Utah. I was there for a few years longer. We're going to send this to many great folks in the Utah area, and I'll be talking a little bit about how I know those guys later in the interview. So anyway, Maria, thanks for being here, and let's start with how you even found out about this.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys for having me on your show. I truly appreciate you taking out the time. How I heard about the EE system, oh my gosh. So I have a very, very good friend in Denver, Colorado. She's in a north suburb of Denver. And her and I have talked about, we both have the same passion. We're always have been highly interested in holistic healing. I've been in sales and marketing my entire life. I'm actually a real estate agent. But my passion outside of real estate is holistic healing. So her and I have had so many conversations about, the med beds. When are the med beds coming out? Have you heard? And gosh, we both have the same passion. We should probably think about going into business together and maybe opening some sort of holistic center of some sort. And then we'd start talking about what that would look like. We could do, assisting people that have different types of ailments from different things, with maybe detox baths or whatever that might look like. And so literally, I want to say it was about a week or two later, I was having this moment where I felt guilty, but also unfulfilled at the same time. Like I literally said a prayer. I said, God, I feel really bad right now. I feel really guilty because I feel so unfulfilled. I feel like I'm not making a difference. I mean, yes, I list a house and I sell a house and I make my clients money when they sell their house, but I don't really feel like I'm making a difference in people's lives. And I just feel empty. But at the same time, I feel so incredibly grateful because here I am, I'm a single mom and I'm able to put a roof over my head and food on the table for me and my daughter. And so I just having this weird, I don't know what it was. It was like this dark week of the soul is what I call it, where I also let go of someone I considered my best friend of over 10 years. And somebody else, two people in my life, I actually kind of had to let go of. And I had this really, really, really bad cry that lasted on and off for over a week. And I didn't know what it was, but I was purging something. My daughter was really concerned. She had never seen me cry like that before. And I don't think I had even cried like that once in the last 10 years, but this had gone on for like a week. I couldn't even drive my car without crying. So I said this prayer and I said, this is exactly what I said. I said, I feel very unfulfilled. I'm not making a difference. There's got to be something else. Please tell me, what am I supposed to be doing? Whatever it is, I'll do it. I promise. The very next day, now I had never heard of Jason Shirka before. I had never heard of Dr. Sandra before. The very next day, something led me to their interview on YouTube.
Got it.
And that was it. I heard what they were doing. They sent out a request to anyone who feels called to open up a center. And now you have to know, my biggest fear in my entire life has been going broke and losing everything, going broke, living under a bridge with my daughter. Okay. So for me to spend the money that I had made in real estate to invest into not only a center, but also these units was big. Yeah. But the interesting thing is I had zero fear about it. I had zero fear. I literally just did it.
Wow.
And this is following a Dark Night of the Soul episode. So, I mean, gosh, that really sounds like some pretty special inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was called to do this. There's no doubt. I believe that there are a certain number of people on this planet that were called to do this with Dr. Sandra. And I feel very deeply that I was one of those people. Why? I don't know. But here I am. And even the place that these units are in, this cute, adorable house that was built in the 1950s, that needed absolutely zero renovation, believe it or not. It was absolutely perfect just the way it is. Appeared with a for rent sign 2 days before these units showed up to be installed.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was all like in divine order.
Sounds meant to be, for sure.
It was.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Without a doubt.
So give us a little bit of the, so you went through, you ordered it and it started coming together, and tell us like what has been the process of, people coming in and discovering this, and maybe some of the, the results that you've seen either for them or for you or any of.
Yeah. So I've been open for about 6 weeks now. We had a soft opening September 15th and then had our grand opening October 1st. In those 6 weeks, and it feels like so much longer than that, but the way this has happened has just been so crazy. I've had some repeat clients who have had some amazing results. A couple that I'm thinking of in particular actually live in Wyoming, and they made a 5-hour drive here.
Okay.
He brought his wife. He's so cute. His wife could care less. She didn't really believe in any of this, but his belief was so strong, and he made the trip down specifically for her because she has really bad arthritis. He didn't realize what was going to happen to him in the process, though. So he goes home. He goes home, and like a few weeks later, he texts me and says, "Hey, we want to come down for another overnight." And I thought, well, this is interesting because they live 5 hours away. If they're coming all the way back here, something pretty significant must have happened, right? So he comes. This guy, the first time I met him, was just, very polite, very kind, but very quiet, didn't talk very much. It's kind of hard to read him. This time he comes, he's talking, he's animated, he's smiling. And I'm like, so what's going on, Tom? So you're back. What's going on? Tell me, what results have you noticed, if any? And I'm talking about his wife, not him. And he goes, well, he said, before I came down here the first time, I had a dentist appointment, and I had this dark spot on my lip, like on the inside of my bottom lip. And the dentist said to him, you need to get this checked out immediately. I'm really worried about this. So come to find out, 2 weeks after he had left here, the black spot on his inside of his lip turns completely pink and now is peeling away.
Oh, wow.
And he had a little lima bean sized lump on his side that he could feel. And he said that lima bean sized lump is now half the size as it was. So he's just smiling ear to ear, and he just knows one more night in the system, I'm going to be good. Now, I do have to kind of back up a minute and say that these are just people's experiences. I am not a medical practitioner. These are not medical devices. I have to stress that because I get a lot of people asking me, I have stage 4 cancer, I have MS, I have this, I have that. Can this help me? Can this cure me? My answer to them is always this, and the same thing Dr. Sandra would say, these systems are not healing anything. These are not medical devices. Your body knows what to do to heal on its own. Okay. Our bodies are very, very smart. They know what to do. The problem is we're living in a toxic soup, right?
Right.
So we've got the radiation poisoning, and we've got the EMFs, and we've got the 5G, and we've got all of this stuff that's kind of in our food and our water, and all the stuff that's working against us.
Exactly.
What these are doing essentially is they're putting our bodies in the most optimal state so that our bodies are able to do what they know how to do already, which is heal on their own. So yeah, so these are just testimonies that people have given me, but the system didn't do that. The system just put their body in an optimal state.
Got it. And what
Their
have
body
you
work
go
on
ahead.
it.
I was going to say, what have you noticed for yourself in being around it a lot, almost every day?
Well, naturally, I'm Italian, right? And so I can be pretty high strung. I have been, I've been in sales and marketing. I've always had that, I don't know what it is, that nervous energy, if you will. That's why I put myself through yoga teacher training and meditation to learn how to slow my brain waves down a little bit. What I've noticed for myself, my thing has never been physical stuff. It's, thank goodness, I feel very blessed. Mine has been mental, mainly anxiety, depression on and off since I was 12. And a big thing for me has been that I've battled with is PTSD. So what I've noticed is, because of the PTSD, if I were to get triggered, my normal reaction, being Italian, whatever it is to snap or get defensive or whatever that looks like. I've noticed that since I've been in my system as much as I have been, that it's almost like my brain waves have slowed down so much that I'm able to process through things a lot better before I react, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or process them so well that I don't react. Or maybe I react, but it's in a very calm, thought out manner rather than just, blowing up or getting angry or whatever that looks like. So I'm not as anxious, and I'm able to process. I feel like my brain has compartmentalized, but I got this a lot through meditation, because I would meditate regularly. I was a Dr. Joe Dispenza follower for many years, and I went to his advanced workshop. So I know how to meditate. But with these, and Dr. Sandra has said this, and she's correct. We don't have to teach people how to meditate anymore, because 7 minutes of your eyes closed in the system, and you will be to where a Buddhist monk is.
Nice. That's huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. So people that say I can't meditate because whatever, my mind races and this and that, come in here for a session. We recommend 2 hours. But in 7 to 10 minutes, you will be in that meditative state if your eyes are shut.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
good. Anything you wanna...
No, I was just reflecting on when we had the same experience, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to describe the feeling when you're in that environment, but
yes, it's definitely experiential. When people say, what does it do or how does it work? I've kind of explained all that, but everybody has their own experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of hard to describe.
yeah.
Yeah. And and we'll be listing. The website is EESystem.com. I believe I got that correct.
Yeah.
And
So if you want more information on the technology, and this is not new technology, by the way, this has been around for a long time. But if you go to www.EESystem, not plural, just system.com,
right.
you'll be able to learn more about the technology. There's some great testimonials on there, as well as the interview with Jason Shurka and Dr. Sandra is on there as well. So that's the EESystem site. Our website for the Lehi location, Lehi, Utah location, is currently under construction as we speak. So that's not quite yet. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we have a friend named Karen that has one up in the Tacoma, the Parkland area of Washington State. So we've been up, we've been around it. She's, I'm sure there's some openings, but she was booked. This was a month, 2 months ago, booked until spring, and so she hasn't really needed much help in filling her health center, and she's done hers under a PMA, private membership assembly, as well, and that's another topic for another day. But yeah, so have you been to any of these other systems, or is it primarily? Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, and maybe some of the people that you've met, or go from
So
there.
before I opened I knew I was going to open this. Like I said, this was a calling, and I said the words, "You tell me what to do and I'll do it." Right. So I didn't feel the need to try anything out before I made my decision. I had made my decision. But right after I made my decision, I went to go visit another center here in Utah. And I actually went there twice before opening my center. What's interesting is I said I've never had physical ailments. It just so happened, I kind of forgot about this. The day that I had my first 2-hour session booked, I threw my back out.
Oh, wow.
And it was so bad that I could literally not even bend over and pick something up off the floor. That's how bad it was. So I was like, well, this happened for a reason. I'm about to find out what happens today. So I went in for my 2-hour session. The pain didn't go away. It did subside a little bit, but it didn't go away completely. I went to another session the following week, another 2-hour session. So I did a total of 4 hours in the system. My back pain went away completely, and like it hasn't come back.
Nice.
Very cool. So,
Fantastic.
and what other, because you're in Lehi, and so how far, just so people know, and people that live there, so you're about how far from Salt Lake, and then where were the other centers that were close to you that you went to?
Yeah, so there was only one center I had been to. It's about 30 minutes from me in a town called Murray, which is south of me. It's between here and Salt Lake.
Got it.
Okay. And then there is a center in St. George, which is about 3 hours south of where I'm at.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with those different. That's cool that they're spread out a little bit. So because I mean, a big reason we're doing this, like I've said, you're in Utah. I know a lot of folks in Utah, and so this is really so the people in Utah know where to go, know what this is, because this is new to a lot of people. I mean, people have no idea what the heck this even is. So
Right. Yes, but they've done a good job. I mean, Unified and EESystem has been very mindful. The thing I love about them is not only do they want these systems available and out there for everyone and anyone who wants the healing, but they're also very mindful of their business owners, the people that have stepped up, like myself and others who took a chance financially and spiritually and everything else. They also want to make sure that their business owners of these centers are also able to sustain themselves.
Right.
So they're making sure, like for instance, Utah, the state of Utah is actually closed from opening any more centers right now, because we really have enough open until the centers here, until their chairs are full. There's not any reason to open another center as of right now. So they've kind of put a halt on things here for now, which I am truly, grateful for, that they care about us that much,
yeah, no, that's great. How many people can fit in? Because yours is a 16 unit system. So
For
people, right? Is that right?
it's a 16 unit for now.
For
My
now.
goal is to have it up to a 24 unit by the end of the year.
Okay, so would the 24 units be in the same room? And then how many people can fit in a session comfortably, or how does that?
Well, the beauty of this, you guys, is that you can put as many people in a room as you want. I mean, nobody's taking away from anyone else, if you will. In fact, I don't know if you've heard this, but the more people in meditation together, the more powerful, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the system. The more people, the more powerful. So it really kind of depends on the center owner's situation. Now, in my particular room, my EE system room here at this center will could probably hold about 20 chairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good amount. And so what would you say the most people you've had at once at one time is?
So far, the most we've had is probably between 8 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's a typical appointment look like if someone, you know, goes on your website and they want to sign up, and, you know, walk us through that. If they're like, well, what do I do? You know, give us a little insight.
Oh, you mean once they get here?
Well, yeah, like how, you know, once they sign up and they got to check availability, and do they schedule it online, or do they call you, or you know, walk through
So
that?
right,
And then
doing things the old-fashioned way because my websites are
Right.
constructed. But we are in the process of getting everything very automated with a really great CRM system through the Freedom People, that connects to a calendar, that connects to a payment system, the whole 9 yards. So what you'll be able to do in the very near future is go to my website, go to the calendar, select a service, and we will have other services at my center outside of the EE system. But let's say you want a 2-hour EE system session, which is what we recommend.
Okay.
You click on the 2-hour session, you choose a time that's available, and then you'd be able to pay for your session. And then you would get a text and an email reminder.
Okay. And then they show up. So, and your hours are, do you have certain hours right now?
Yeah, so we're by appointment only, but our hours are, you know, for 2-hour sessions, 9 to 11 in the morning, 11 to 1, 1 to 3, and 3 to 5. And
Okay.
then we close at 5 so that we can get ready for if we have an overnight, which usually starts around 6:30.
Okay. Okay. So they get there, and do they check in? Are you there, or how does?
So right now I've been here.
Okay.
I'm actually testing the waters with a couple of friends of mine who are awesome patriot people who come here. They love the system, they love the service, and I've just loved these gals. And there's a couple of them that are going to be working here while I'm out of town. So I'm kind of testing the waters with a couple of people that maybe could help me out part-time, so I'm not here every single day.
Right.
But typically you'd come in and you'd be greeted by myself or one of them.
Because I know people are going to want to see that smiling Italian face.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I'm just going to look up. There's a few people I know down there that are great guys, and I'm going to look up a couple things here. But one of them is there's Terry Burden, and Terry used to. I'm not sure exactly what he does now, but he was a host on Park City Television.
Okay.
There's also Scott, I hope I get his name right. Scott Iwasaki. He's a writer for the Park Record. I'm going to send this to him as well. And then there's Brian Higgins, and I was part of a film group with him, and he is a transmedia storyteller incorporating film, stand-up, and comedy. And he also runs Mental Healthy Fit, ending the stigma of mental health. And I'm going to send it to those guys. And they're just, the reason I bring them up, they're three guys that I've met personally. They're wonderful humans. They're very empathetic, and, you know, they're very connected. And I think that those three guys alone, once they find out about this, could really help get this where, you know, get people that are in need of this to you and to know about this, because they're wonderful guys, and I know them personally. So
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
yeah, Scott's a little quiet. Usually he has so many questions. He's got to be burning to say something over here.
Well, I'm fairly familiar with the system, and I love to hear the success stories. But I suppose if people are wondering, I mean, what does it heal? I kind of know the answer, but, you know, as far as people that are wondering,
Well, the system doesn't heal anything. Your body
Right.
heals itself, right?
So it could be anything, right?
So what have people been able to heal? I think maybe what you're asking, correct me if I'm wrong, is what have people been able to heal themselves from, right?
And at 6
Well,
weeks, it's a little hard to answer that question, I realize, but
yes, PTSD, depression, anxiety, MS, cancer. There was, I don't know if you heard Jason Shirka's aunt did an interview. She had a 12 and a half 12.5 centimeter cyst in her uterus that dissolved. It's completely gone.
that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And his sister's dog had a cyst on its neck. Gone.
Nice.
I take children and animals as well, by the way.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So as
That's
long as the dog comes in with their owner and they're on a leash or in their kennel, we do take animals. And we had a woman come here with her dog. He was on death's door, I'll be honest, when they got here. She drove out from Texas. She just told me that he's doing much better. She wants to bring him back for another couple of overnights. And she feels so much better about his situation that she's ready to put him on an airplane instead of driving him out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I brought my dog, Lily, and she's a senior, Belgian Malinois. And she's having trouble getting used to not being able to jump over, cars and buildings and things. They're crazy fast, but she's really old now.
13.
But yeah,
She's right here, actually.
But she's shockingly healthy for her age, for sure.
For her age, yeah. So another big one, you guys, that I hear a lot of is insomnia. And I don't like to just gloss over that because I'm very blessed. I can sleep. I go to sleep. I sleep solid. I wake up. I'm fine. There's a lot of people out there that suffer from sleep problems. That was another issue that Tom from Wyoming said. He said he used to get up 4 and 5 times a night to use the restroom. Some people are getting up 3, 4, 5 times a night. Can you imagine? I mean, he wasn't even sleeping.
Oh, man.
He said now he either gets up maybe once or not at all. That's huge.
Huge.
That can completely change a person's life.
Yeah.
Insomnia is another, that type of thing, or sleep disorders, insomnia. I had what I would call borderline narcolepsy, where I had to nap throughout the day. I would work for a couple hours, nap, work for a couple hours, nap. And then I would go to bed at like 8:39 and get up at 7. I could not get enough sleep and I didn't know what the problem was. So now I go to bed at, 10 o'clock. I get up at 5 or 6. I rarely take a nap. So I know I know something's changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, sleep problems can really, really mess up a person's life. They're, so insomnia is a big one that people talk about, that they've noticed that their sleep patterns are just a lot better.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially these days, I think people are having more and more sleep issues than they've ever had. At least that's the feedback I've been getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll put links below as well. And then people can obviously watch the interviews with Sandra Rose Michael and Jason Shirka. And then your interviews with Mel Carmine. You have another one coming out there.
Yes.
Is there anywhere else you want to guide people for information? Or I think we've covered most of it, but
the only thing would be if you're in the Utah surrounding area, Lehi area. I'm in Utah County. Okay. So if you're wanting to come in for a session, or if you're out of state and you want to come do an overnight for a night or two, right now, until we have our website up and running where you can click and, schedule, you can just go to our email and you can reach out to me right there. And it's just awakenenergylab@proton.me.
okay.
Nice.
Cool. We'll
That
definitely
comes from me. I'll always get back within 12 to 24 hours. If it's a booking type deal where you want to book something, I'll shoot you my cell phone number and we will schedule something for you.
Awesome. I think we've covered everything. Anything else that you guys want to go over?
Well, I'm only curious about the overnights. Is it
Yeah, great question.
pajamas and pillows or yeah?
Yeah, totally. So I always want people to be comfortable. So even during the day for 2-hour sessions as well as overnights, you want to bring something comfortable to wear, pajamas, whatever. And then bring your favorite blanket and pillow just so that you're comfortable. Bring socks to keep your feet warm. And then just expect to come and relax and soak in. I mean, our overnights are here from like 6:30 in the evening until 8, you have all the way until about 8 o'clock the next day.
Right.
So that's a good 14 hours of opportunity to be in the system. We have a full kitchen here, so our overnights have access to our kitchen. And we also have a full bath where you can take your salt bath right here when you're finished with your session.
Very cool.
Yeah, sign us up. That
Yeah,
sounds
well,
great.
next time I'm in Utah, or maybe I'll have to make a trip there. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's the full experience. So we'd love to have you.
Awesome. And we'll email me all the links. We'll put them below, and this will be on Rumble, YouTube currently, BitChute, and then I take the audio and I put it on Spotify and stuff like that. So we'll send you everything so you can send it out to whoever you need to as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you on, and we'll keep us updated, keep us posted. We'll see how the growth comes from the people we get this out to in the Utah area, and anyone in Utah that sees this, please feel free to share it and let more people know about it, because I think a lot of people want to feel better. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Yeah, and thanks for your commitment to healing people. It's a very important role, and you've taken it on in a big way. And
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys having me on. I really do. I really am grateful.
Absolutely. All right, Maria Scavelli. We'll talk soon.
Sounds great. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.